So, Miss Bruno, how long have you actually been a psychic?
Since the day I was born.
Now, do you actually find that you being psychic was actually inherited in your family?
Yes, yes.
And what is actually your family history?
They're
with
Italian,
psychicness?
Italian history, and Sicily, and also from Nola, family which is in like sort of central Italy, where my mother's family was from. And we have people that have been paid with they paid with their lives from the Inquisitional times. And one was Giordano Bruno. He was a philosopher and a man of letters, a visionary. He said that the earth went around the sun. That was long before Galileo. And that there are a multiplicity of universes. And a very strange thing here is that I went to work for NASA back in 1960, okay? And the original dossier on Giordano Bruno's case, which they said never, he said, oh, Giordano Bruno there was never such a thing. Well, they found the dossier on Giordano Bruno in the papers of Pope Leo XIII, and who found it was a gentleman by the name of Cardinal Angelo Marcotti. It was found in April of 1940. I was born in April of 1940. I lived to see man walking on the face of Luna, exactly what my ancestor said.
And Luna would also be known as the moon, correct?
Yes, yes. And also, he said that he was at the court of Elizabeth I of England and under the patronage of Sir Philip Sidney and both the Queen. And Philip II of Spain, when he sent the Spanish Armada to invade England, said that my ancestor and Dr. John Dee and Mr. Kelly were responsible for raising of storms to sink the Armada. My ancestor at that time was in Czechoslovakia, and as I said, maybe they had a strong email going on. Well, anything to go ahead and destroy Giordano Bruno, they did. But the main underlying cause, it's written in history, and they can find this out. There's a statue on the Campo de' Fiori in Rome to Giordano Bruno. And it was this year that I had an apology from one of the members of the Vatican. In fact, he had tears in his eyes. Back in the year 2000, we had a letter sent to us. We're sorry for the murder of Giordano Bruno, or the killing of Giordano Bruno. And I said back to the Vatican in the letter, if you had been who you were supposed to represent, you never would have murdered in the name of God. We are the only religion that has never murdered in the name of God. We've never had a holy war, because number one, the only thing that wars do is put holes in the human body. We have never murdered people in the name of God. That is something that the craft has an honor in.
Rule number one of harm none.
That's right. And they have painted us to be the most horrible of people. Oh, witches, oh, witches. No, witches are not horrible. Witches have W, wisdom, I, integrity, T is truth, C is courage, and H is honor. I coined that many, many years ago because I know what our people are. Our family paid with their lives. One of my father's ancestresses was during the time of the Black Plague, 1340 Sicily. She had the Arabic manuscripts on medicine, on how to heal, the same type of manuscript that Nostradamus used in the 1500s, she used in the 1340s. She was hung upside down in the marketplace of Messina, Sicily, and burned alive because she didn't go along with, oh, it's the will of God, just like, you know, AIDS was the will of God. No, it's it was the foolishness of humanity. And naturally kill the cats that would kill the rats, and the ships that stopped got off in Messina, Sicily. The rats would go right down the cords onto the dock, and there were no cats to eat them. So guess what? Another beautiful thing by organized religion, which is really not organized anyway. You know, there's so many factions, this one, that one. Just the only religion that the craft knows is love and caring for each other.
Do you feel that psychic ability can be taught?
It it can be remembered. Each and every one of you out there has psychic ability. But through, oh, you don't want to be a weirdo, you don't want to be that. No, that was taught and carefully taught to you because they didn't want people to know that they could touch the divine. You know the word, let me tell you something. I said this the other night on the radio. When you're in the church there, and I'm not against Catholicism, I'm not against Protestantism or Judaism or anything. In fact, my husband is a Catholic. But what I am against is ignorance and the belittling of mankind. Oh Lord, I am not worthy. That's said at communion time. Why aren't you worthy? Were you an axe murderer or a killer? Did you do this? Did you do that evil? Well, why aren't you worthy? And if they said, we are making man in our image, well, who is he talking to? And that's the beginning of Genesis. Let us make man in our image. Who is he talking to? Guess what? He had a wife. She's known in the Hebrew as the Shekinah. And they invoke her when the bride goes on the chuppah there and the groom. So there you go. So who is he talking to? Oh, yes. Shekinah. Yeah, she is kinder than the old man because, I don't think you should do that, Yahweh. Let's not condone murder.
Being of Italian heritage, could you explain what Strega magic is?
Strega magic is this. We work with everything. We work with the earth, we work with the sun, the stars, the moon, and also we're not afraid to call on the saints because they seem to be pretty good people, like Anthony. I got in the North End, they have an Anthony holding the baby in one arm and the left hand going up to give a blessing. I mean, hello, who's that?
Right.
All right? There's a Blessed Mother that has a little child in her arms wearing a pink dress. Who's that? That's in Enna, Sicily. So what is Strega magic? It's very akin to even the voodoo. The Strega was the person who used the common sense and knew how to work with nature to make things happen.
Now, the Strega magic actually takes place in the kitchen?
Yes, it does. And if you've tasted some Italian food, it's pretty good. We can do magic over a stove.
To the stomach.
No, yes, it does. The kitchen is a lot of where we do our potions and things, yes, in the kitchen.
Knowing that you had the ability and knowing that you had the spiritual belief through heritage, have you found here in Salem that people had been afraid of you?
I was called a hit witch once by someone up here. But that someone used to come to my house in the North End when she needed help. Okay. I need this, I have to move, I have to blah, blah, blah. Okay. But that's okay. That's forgiven. It's forgotten and forgiven. It's something a passado, as we say in Italian. This is a new age now. Salem is growing. And that's why I was asked by Christian Day, will you please come up here? I won't come up here. Now, yes. Because it's time for a change. It's time to be right. Now, and work with each other.
And with that, Lori, I have found that, through my teachings throughout the years, that, the elders is supposed to be respected. And I think now with everything blossoming and blooming as it is now, are you finding that people are getting back to that way of actually respecting elders, which is the pioneers of witchcraft?
Yes, they should. Elders should be respected, but the elder should also know that the young one should be respected too. And that doesn't mean young one come over and clean my house or wash my floors or you make my bed when you very well can bend over and make your own darn bed. I'm 69 years old. I hope I live a few more years. But in the event I don't, I've taken care of more people than people have taken care of me.
I know on a personal level you've taken care of me in a very good way.
I always will, and because it's honesty and justice, and I do believe in that. But like I said, my coven, none of them, I would go ahead and bleed for money and say, oh, you got to take care of me. I'm the great-grand high poostess, pompous rectus extraordinaire. No way.
Well, from my belief, after a year and a day, you're supposed to be able to make your own decision if you're going to actually stay with a group or if you're going to go. Is that correct?
That's right, absolutely.
So someone should not actually be holding degrees against people if they choose not to be there.
The Strega don't have degrees. But I made everybody in my coven a high priestess. I said, there you are, you're all the same. Now let's see what you're going to do with it. All right? Run with the ball. Let me see if you're going to service humanity or you're going to be a self-serving fool. Who are you? What can you do for humanity? Are you going to work with people? Oh, no, I'm the great Grand Poobah. Carry me around in my car. Oh, come on, get off of that. A witch always worked with the people.
And
we were the workers.
I'm in total agreement with you there.
And capital W-O-R-K.
Now, as you know, you just gave me reverendship through the
Yes, I
Church
did.
of Triacting Rose. What actually possessed you to organize the church, Lori?
To protect our people. And that people, I don't care if you were a Celt or a Teutonic, I don't care where you came from. What possessed me to do it is that would give credence in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that we were a church and a viable organization and the credentials of a religious body which can perform all rites of passage. It is called our Lord and Lady of the Trinacrian Rose. Lord and Lady meaning God and Goddess. Trinacrian Rose, because nothing is more powerful than the craft rose. And Trinacria was the ancient name of Sicily. No, I'm not affiliated with the mafia. Mothers and Fathers Italian Association, although I met a few of them and they have always respected the Strega. If you ever see the movie called Sleepers, you will see Vittorio Gassman behind a bar and with one of the people that work with him, and he says, here's the eel, and he cut the head off the eel. Take this to the Strega. I want to know who's giving me the malocchio, the evil eye. Now, why would this man, who is a big boom, want a little Strega to look after him? Because they respect us. And that's exactly what the word was, respect. And in all forms of the craft, the word respect should go before anything. And that means a high priestess to respect her covenants too. Vice versa, it comes a balance.
Well, from research, learning, my own personal experience, that everything was supposed to be actually secret.
It is.
And now you find, as in family coven, yes. It is.
It is a secret.
However, there are some people out there that just go flaunt things. And how do you feel about that?
The things they're flaunting are flauntable. They've been written in the books. However, when I first met Leo Martello, Dr. Leo Louis Martello, who had the first witch-in New York City, 1969, 1970. You had to meet him. He was full of fun. I called him up. I said, well, so what makes you a Stregone? He said, so what makes you a Strega? I said, Mago and Maga. We know each other. So I said, so who do you have? And he made her name backwards to me. And I said, now why don't we do it forwards? And we knew that we were from La Familia. Understand me? The ancient family.
I do understand.
Understand that. We knew there were certain little hand things we do, that you know, that we could be sitting in front of the house and our hands go a certain way when people pass. And that's how we knew they were brothers and sisters. Yes, we baked the craft cakes. Yes, we did. We didn't have, the wands and everything. We had it on a loaf of bread, the symbol of the pentacle and the equilateral cross, which meant his home. We used we had a lasagnadora, which was the long macaroni stick that we would make the macaroni. What would be more sacred than the wheat of the mother mixed to make the flour, the eggs and everything to make the pasta? And that was our wand.
Well, isn't that part of the craft as well, is that you put your energy into things?
Absolutely,
That is what the magic is.
And when they would the papal goons would come, we'd be eating the pentacle. Hello.
So you didn't need actually the witch's cauldron or
the pot. We had the pot just like that, the cauldron, the three-legged pot. It was always there.
Hey, but you would actually use a spatula or
oh, yeah, that's it. Hello. Hey, you want to eat with us? Sit down. And watch, you're going to eat the pentacle. You're going to be there. We knew how to hide. 80% of the witches were saved in Italy. Why? Because we knew Ave Maria, Ave Diana. We ate right in front of them. We learned in front of them. We even there was Joseph of Cupertino. He could levitate, go right off the ground. Oh my God, what is he doing? Yeah, he knew the magic. He hid right under their noses. Then there was Anthony of Padua. He was seen in Limoges, France, and also at the same time in Italy because he wanted to be in two places at once, the astral journey. There's a book written about it, and it'll tell you the story of Anthony of Padua with the left hand blessing. Yes, we know about that. We hit right under their noses.
Now, going out to the community here, there are certain aspects and certain tools that people will see around town and that they might not actually have a full understanding and awareness of, such as the witch's broom. No, we're not flying around on brooms. So what is actually the witch's broom? What does it do?
Fertility. Look at what's there, the staff, and there, you put it upside down, it tells you that's mama. But what we used to do is take the broom, put it between our legs, and go around the field. Grow, grow, grow. Benedizione. We bless the field with it. What else? With the both the male and female energies, blessing them. Of course, grow, that's
And
the way
nowadays
it is.
it's used for circles?
Absolutely. And I go around the house in a clockwise motion every new moon, full moon, and I say, out, 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 that negative energy. And I open the door, out. I go. That's how I do it.
Are
And
you a healer?
then I go 3 times on the ground and set it by the door. Am I a healer?
Are you a healer, Lori?
The gods heal. I just call them on the telephone. There, I need your help. Help this baby.
Understanding that you actually conduct classes, what classes do you teach?
Number 1, respect of each other. Number 2, the care of humanity. Number 3, how to use your magic. Inside of you dwells magic. All right? See, back in the ancient time, the church didn't want people to know that they could talk to God. But yet in 1 Timothy 2:5, it says this: there is only one mediator between God and man. That's the man Christ Jesus. Now, who's Christ Jesus? He was somebody you could talk to. I need you to go to Papa. You talk to him. But then that is still an emanation of the Father in one. We have Mary. Mary's like the goddess. Okay, she is. They don't like to admit it, but it's there. We have God and Goddess in the Catholic Church too. So all of these things it's been there from the beginning of time. The light that we light for the Magna Mater, the Great Mother. Look at the Catholic Church. There's the light always lit. I wonder where they got that from.
I often wonder that too.
They took it from us. The chalice they took from us. And I do believe Jesus was married to Mary. No.
Lori, what is a working altar?
It's where I do my work.
Does it actually have candles and things
It
of
has
that
candles.
nature?
It has mayatame on it. It has a wand on it. It has a chalice, and it has the incense. All the elements: the air, the fire, the earth, the air, the fire, the water, and spirit. It's in there too.
Which also is representation of the pentacle.
That's exactly.
People here in Salem that might not actually know what a pentacle is. It's that star with the circle. Correct?
That's right. The star with the circle, pentacle, pentagram. It's there. And let me tell you what that star is. It symbolizes man and woman. Look, stand apart with your legs. Bingo. Who are you? You're a pentacle. Gee, I haven't got a pentacle. You are the pentacle. I haven't got a wand. Oh, that's there. You got the wand. It's your hand.
Well, the human body, is represented in the medical field in books and things of that nature,
everything.
all with their legs and arms out.
Absolutely. The chalice is right here. I am the chalice. That's right. It's everything.
Do you believe in curses, Lori?
Yeah, I believe that people who do harm look in the mirror. They're their own worst curse. They do it to themselves. Amen. That's it. So won't it be?
Do you believe in spells?
Yes, I do. They're prayers.
And do they work?
Yes. If you do it with all your heart and mean it with so, you can make it go both any time. If you say, I will this to be, not I want. Take the word want out of your life because want puts you in want. I will this to be. And in this blessing I am free to give to thee that which will make your life better. Understand me?
I do.
And if I curse somebody, it goes back on me. I look in the mirror. I'll curse somebody. What are you, kidding me? You're your own worst curse.
I guess one of my questions to you is there are people that believe that there are curses on them.
Yeah. The evil eye.
How do you feel about that?
Somebody could have envy for somebody, yes, and they could hurt someone with envy because your envy is the evil eye. And so the people sometimes, they will pick up on that. See, your body is electrical magnetic field. And you can feel a general malaise from someone someone wanting to hurt you, okay, or have ill will towards you. So what you do is you start to, number one, make sure your body's clean. And that is every night, take a shower, put a little kosher salt in the bottom of the shower. I like kosher salt, it's good. You squish your little feet around in it, and you bathe it off. Because all day, let's face it, you are being bombarded by kakanunus out there and people screaming in the street. If you go to sleep at night, lay in a supine position, all that stuff goes on you. It's free for all, and naturally you're going to feel bad. This woman hollered at me, blah, blah, blah. But if I take a shower, use that salt, every night, bingo, it's gone. Down the drain, all the pain. Keep yourself in a clean way, mind, body, and spirit. Put that energy force of light around you. I like Michael the Archangel. I really do. He's got those nice swords. He takes care of
I like
you.
Michael a lot, too.
Michael's my pal. So anyway, I go ahead and I invoke him around me. That's all you do. Invoke Michael, no matter what kind of witch you are, who this or that. That Michael came from the ancient Sumerian times. Did not come from the Catholic Church. They borrowed it. And really, you want to know, I really love what's going on in the world right now. You see, there's a war in Iraq, and there's all this going on. Do you know where the Hebrews originated from?
No.
They originated from Mesopotamia. Abraham, get your family out of Haran. Where was Haran? Haran. It was Mesopotamia. What was Mesopotamia? It's Iraq. And woe to you who bombed the Holy Land. Where was the Holy Land? Oh, that's in Palestine. No, it's the cradle of civilization. Part of it anyway. Africa's really the great petri dish. And people settled there between the Tigris, Euphrates, Gihon, and Pishon rivers. And that is Eden. Okay? So what did we go and bomb there? What did this unjust war in Iraq bomb? The Garden of Eden. Woe to you. And ever since they bombed Iraq, the Holy Land, from 2001 onward, what's happened? Tidal waves, this,
chaos.
that. Chaos. We had a president that was invoking chaos. He was the high priest of chaos. So talk about a curse. Well, that's a curse. Take a look. The shedding of innocent blood in a war is a curse on humanity. Stop it. It's all for nothing. Then after you'll be building roads there and have some fat cat's going to get rich on it. And here we go, Halliburton and Cheney. He's getting rich. But what is it going to talk to him on the day he has to go to the Hall of Judgment? I don't want to be him. That's a curse.
Society as a whole, and I would like to address this with you, and the reason for this is the misconception of men, witches, and warlock. I know that I take it offensively when somebody calls me a warlock because I know that it's fictitious.
Yes, it is.
So what actually are people, men, called in the
Witches.
craft?
Witches. Strega is female. Stregoni is male witch. Mago is the male magician. Imaga was a female.
Now, to shed light on the aspects of what is actually going on here, basically, with this show is to help educate the community.
Yeah.
And being in Salem and being a witch, there's a lot of staples, preconceived notions that we're hexing people, and that
I work at Hex.
that sometimes we're the lost souls, or we're the lost children, and that that we're evil, we harm animals, things of that nature. And we know, you and I, of course, that that's not what it is. So why is the word Wicca associated with witchcraft?
Well, the witch was the priestess in the ancient time. It always was that way. As far as hurting animals, I have 6 of them. I've rescued them. As far as hurting children, there's a citation or an award from the governor of the Commonwealth hanging on the the wall. It's a copy of the original, which is in my house, for the protection of the children of the Commonwealth, was given to Gloria Bruno in 1985, because I protected children. It's a long case about that.
You've actually done a lot for witches,
absolutely,
the community, a lot of suffering people, a lot of people that need advice along the way.
And it's done free. I don't charge them. I don't live off people's sadness.
The new age people that are coming on today, the younger generation, if you will, do you find as though with all the teachings that are being done here in Salem, with all the teachers that are different out there, that it's very hard to stay in one concept of religion?
Again, I will tell you, if you're studying the craft, the first thing is to respect. To get a good teacher who's not just doing it for a shtick, who's not doing it for their self-aggrandizement. One who cares, who can teach you the true meaning of the religious life of the craft. It is a religion. It's not a game. I've seen people who thought it was a game and how they finish up in this life. Pretty sad. And yeah, they'll make their money and but in the long run, what do they have? Do they have family? Do they have people who truly love them? Do they change people like their shoes every few months? Is it a used thing? If you see a teacher that uses people, stay away from them. They're not teachers.
And blessed be to you too.
Blessed be to all of you.